Yeah, hi and welcome to the Freedom Puzzles podcast. This is episode 45. My name's Andy Lehman. I am from freedomskillsacademy.com and I'm with my good buddy John Banks. How you doing, John?
Hello, yeah, welcome. Yeah, I'm all right. Not too bad.
Good.
Bit colder now. Matt, really dropped.
It has got a bit chilly and a bit more rainy as well, which has brought the temperature down.
Yeah, so not very nice at all.
Not been very nice, no. So you're doing all right then, yeah? Everything apart from being a bit chilly?
Yeah, everything's fine. Plodding away.
Good.
Still working on various bits and pieces. But So what are we talking about tonight?
Basically we're going to talk about newsletters. Mainly for online newsletters.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I do write newsletters for a company, and they do theirs monthly, and it's a printed newsletter. But we also have our own, Freedom Skills monthly digital newsletter, and I think these are brilliant because they are extremely easy to do. They are cheap. They can be cheap. They can be you can charge as much as you want, really. But basically, they only take. You could probably get one done in a day, possibly even a weekend. And if you've got, say, put it this way, it takes the same amount of time to write a newsletter for one person as it does for 200, for 5,000. How many people you can get? It just takes a day to create. I mean, I signed up for a newsletter just recently. It was one because, as you know, I'm in the position at the moment of selling my house and moving, and we were talking about going over to Ireland. We're going to have a bit of time in Portugal and then move over to Ireland. One of the newsletters I found, it was only €5 per month, and it was called sort of Cheap Irish Houses. I think they have two newsletters. There's one for under €100,000 and one for over €100,000. And all this person does, she actually has a TV program in Ireland, so she's actually a bit of a Sarah Beanie. But from her website, basically, you pay €5 a month. She sends out an email, and I think you also access the PDF if you don't get the email. But she sends an email once a week, and all she's done is list around sort of 20 properties that she's found from estate agents across Ireland.
Wow.
A photograph, a little bit of blurb, and she emails that out once a week, every Wednesday, and so that's €5, and I think the other one's about €20 for the more expensive one. Mm-hmm. Again, same thing, list of properties. So it probably takes a couple of days, bit of research, sticking it all together, popping it into her autoresponder, and if you've got several hundred people paying you €5,
yeah, and that's exactly the beauty of it. Like we've talked about loads of times before, she's being paid basically to do the research for other people. There's no knowledge that nobody else couldn't find themselves in that particular example. It's just she's just doing a lot of the faff and the hard work for other people. If you don't want to sit down on your computer for a couple of days and spend all the time to find this particular type of property in this case, then basically that's all she's doing, and she's just compiling it together. And then every week or month or whatever it is, she just sends the details out to the paying subscribers. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. Like you've said then, they might pay like €5 or something, €5 a month. But, you get 100 of them. That's €500 a month for the same work that you would do, whether it be one subscriber or 500 or 1,000 subscribers. You're only doing the same stuff, one time, and then that's it. So, I think it's a brilliant idea. And that again, which we've talked about loads of times, people often get this sort of like, there's no way that I'd be, there's no way I could do that, or there's no way I could, I haven't got the knowledge of that, or I haven't got the skills, to write about that. Or, in that case, that's a perfect example of, you're just, all she's doing is she's doing the sort of the monotonous kind of research stuff that people don't want to do, the lazy option, if you like, for the people that don't want to do it. And there you go. How many times have we talked about solving a problem? The problem doesn't have to be so complex that, in this case, the problem is literally, I haven't got the time to sit around and research all these properties, so I'd rather pay someone else to do it. And in that case, it's absolutely perfect.
Her email newsletter, the image, and just underneath the bump, there's a button which basically says visit the original estate agent's listing.
Yeah. So
you click on that and it takes you straight through to the estate agents. Now, I don't think she's getting anything, a kickback from the estate agents, but she could. Or it's something, it could be like a bit of an affiliate sort of commission, sort of in that respect. But yeah, it's a very simple process. Like you said, it's just doing the research. It's there's probably loads of people all across Europe, especially probably here in the UK, where property is expensive. So for me, for other people, it's perfect because basically you're just getting this email in your inbox. I've not had to trawl through 20 different estate agents looking for a cheap property. It's here. And so I can now look through. Here's one at 65,000 euros. Here's another one at 85,000 euros. I can go straight through to the listing if I wish, and then basically I'm directed straight to it. So this is something that can be done in not just estate agents. I mean, to be fair, there's so much you could do, because you could have a newsletter for like different towns, different cities. Because I remember once reaching out to an estate agent in Ireland when we were first thinking of moving out there. I was looking for property and I found this great thing, and I emailed them. I said, we're probably not going to be able to get this property. We're going to be quite a few months because the house is still going through the process of selling. Do you have an email newsletter or you send it out? And she said no. So they're missing a bit of a trick there, because property swaps quite quickly. But then I just thought, someone could do one for rental properties in certain cities or certain places. But again, going back to sort of estate agents, that's one industry. There's so many different industries that people want research from. It's jobs is another one, really.
But yeah, I mean, that's a classic one, isn't it? But I mean, the newsletter form. This is kind of like mini, cheap, if you like, monthly newsletters, or doesn't have to be newsletters, but sort of monthly distributed content in a way that people will pay for. And these kind of little mini rebuilds, and they can end up being quite lucrative, can't they? I mean, we've just started one ourselves over on the Freedom Skills Academy, and which is again like an exclusive VIP stuff where we give away. We write about stuff that we don't put anywhere else, and that, I guess, is the whole point of it. You're providing stuff that you won't just give away for free on the blog, or if you're doing a podcast or YouTube channel. These are exclusive things, and quite often members are quite happy to pay just that little bit. It's the same as like reading a newspaper every day, or it's the same as a magazine subscription every month, or it's exactly the same. Patreon, yeah, it's exactly the same. You're just basically paying for some content that would otherwise be on a website. But people forget, a website nowadays, websites have got ads on. Quite a lot of websites now have got paywalls. These are all common things now. So this is just a sort of another way of sort of putting content that you feel deserves a little bit more, and perhaps kind of just putting it away in forms of a sort of monthly membership. And there are loads of ways of doing this, isn't there? You don't have to have really complex membership sites or anything like that. It could literally just be something as simple as you've got a 2 or 3 page website. There's a form there, there's an opt-in form, you pay to opt in, and once you've set it up, that could be a PayPal button, simple as rebill cycle, or what was that other payment card we talked about the other week? Stripe. You could set up a Stripe button. You can even host it on third-party sites like Gumroad or anything like that. And then once you've got that payment activity, who those people are, and you just keep the list separate, and then you just either email them. In the case of, like you say, that lady that's doing the Irish houses, you just email them every month, or in our case, you put it behind like a sort of membership area. But it doesn't have to be complicated. Another one, another method which I'm seeing more and more of recently, which is so easy, if people want to have a go at this, and that is using Instagram. Now, Instagram, obviously, you've got Instagram posts, which is your main post, which goes out to everyone. You've also got Instagram stories. Now, the normal stories, which is your the general stuff that you do every day, the stories,
Mm.
they obviously go out to everyone as well. Obviously, not everyone sees them, but they're not locked behind anything. But there is also now on Instagram, you've got a close friends and family list. Now, I don't know the exact number, but I believe the limit on that is 1,500. So you can add 1,500 of your followers onto that list. Okay. And that means and you can then do stories or do, share stuff that you want, whatever. And you can decide to only share it with that list of people, right? Now I'm seeing now more and more of, in fact, I've just joined one because I'm intrigued at how it works and what the sort of content is.
Mm-hmm.
That people now are setting up payment buttons, right? So you go in, you pay, you join like $5 a month, something cheap like that. And then basically all it will be is you'll get an email from them after you've done the payment saying, send us your Instagram handle. You then send them your Instagram handle, and then they'll add you to that exclusive content. And then all you'll get from that is, stuff that they don't want to share with everyone. They only want to share with the paying members. And that's an absolutely easy way of doing it. You don't even need, websites or anything like that. Well, you might need a website just for the payment button. In fact, you don't have to have one. Again, the one I signed up with today, just as a test, they were using Gumroad, which is a third-party website. Literally just a list of what they get from signing on, and then the payment button. And then again, if you imagine that, you could get 1,500 people. 1,500 people paying you $10 a month. That's $15,000 a month.
That's
and
powerful.
all you're doing is sharing exclusive stories.
That's powerful, because not only if you're doing videos, for example, you're using your mobile phone.
Yep.
And just basically tapping the button,
yep.
and then it's going to the phones of 1,500 other people.
Well, however many people see it. I guess it's stories I tend to find between 10 and 20%. But in that case, because they're paying, they will go to it and have a look. So that, like if I'm paying for that membership, I'm going to go on that every day and just see what they are. I'm not going to wait until the scroll gives me it. I'm going to go on it myself.
So for example, you could be doing, you could be a horse trader or a football trader, someone who knows tips. Yeah. And you could record yourself just every morning, giving a 3-minute brief up. These are the horses I've chosen. These are the teams I've chosen. Yeah. Bash that out straight out to people. They're going to check the phones. There's nothing major to read, nothing big. No. That's fantastic.
You could even do a screenshot and just upload the picture and just post it out to that people, and that's it.
That's just incredible. That's a membership newsletter, whatever, going straight to modern technology at the touch, in the palm of your hand. That is.
Yeah. And that is, and funny enough, the one I've signed up for is a similar thing to that. So I'm going to see how it works out. And in some cases, if you're sensible and you understand the world of, whatever it is you're getting involved in that case, if this one isn't sports betting, but let's just say it's sports betting. If you're realistic enough, that every single bet's not going to win anyway. In actual fact, you're probably paying to kind of be in a little sort of community where you can cheer each other on when they win, and you can back each other up and, oh, never mind, not a good day today. We're back at it tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And as long as overall there's a sort of, a reasonable gain, you'll happily stay in it. And yeah, like you say, immensely powerful. No need to even faff around with any of the stuff.
The other thing about things being cheap price is, like you say, people often stay in because it's a bliss point. Yeah. You can charge £97 a month for content if you wish, but it's got to be really life transforming. But the thing with £97 is if the customer, the client, hits a period in their life where they need to cut back. There's a few expenses, the car needs MOT, the boiler's packed up, they'll cancel stuff like that because they need the money. But if you're paying £5 for something which, it's like BritBox or Netflix or something daft like that, they're usually the last things to go because they're manageable amounts.
Exactly.
You lose £5, just pop into Costa Coffee for a sandwich and a coffee. So people are willing to spend that. So again, sometimes it is a good idea just to have a little cheap sort of newsletter which you can get out to thousands of people. I mean, that's cracking. I mean, you mentioned, was it Gumroad, you said?
Yeah, Gumroad. That's a platform where you can list things like ebooks
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But basically, you can list anything. You can sell anything online, digital.
Mm.
So, I mean, in the case of this particular subscription model, all
Yeah.
they had basically used it for was like a mini sales page, basically just laying what you
Yeah.
get, and then at the bottom was the payment button. So obviously, Gumroad will take a little commission, but it's an easy way of setting it up. You haven't if people that are a bit put off by using PayPal buttons and coding it and doing all that themselves, just use a third party website.
Well, Cheap Irish Houses, their newsletter uses, I think it was called Memberly, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Which is
Sounds like a
basically
plugin, I think.
yeah, it's a similar thing, and they use Stripe as well. So
Okay.
Memberly's obviously going to take a percentage.
Mm.
I can remember looking at the prices. I kind of forgotten. I think you can either pay and then get you pay less per transaction. So like you pay a monthly fee and you pay probably like 5%, or use the free version and pay like 20% per transaction,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like you say, they use Stripe. Stripe will also take their payment, so I don't quite know how much you'll be left out of €5 per month. But you could just stick up there, like say, the payment button, the payment form, and once you pay, then they'll get sent an email saying basically, you'll get an email each week, or you get this, or you go check your Instagram. It's ideal. You don't need to build a website, which you can build your own website with. It's so easy now to stick a Stripe button and a sales page up using Elementor. It'll cost you about £120 for 2 years, I think, a basic website. That's all you need. But like you say, why bother when you've got somewhere like Patreon, or Memberly, or Gumroad?
There's a load of options now, but I think it does depend a little bit on the deliverables. I mean, in our case, we like to put some written content out, and also we like to maybe do some exclusive video stuff. So in our case, a proper membership platform works. But if you're just doing like stock plays or crypto plays or horse trades, or I don't know, whatever if you're in the sort of betting or trading industry, that sort of thing, if you're just doing picks, then you don't need to worry about any of that stuff. You can literally just do it, like you say, a deliverable, a smartphone. Here's my 3 best picks of the day. Here they are, boom, boom, boom. They're up for 24 hours. And like you say, the beauty of them stories, that they only last for that anyway. If you're doing like a pick, for example, if you're going to do a stock trade, or if you're going to do a swing on the crypto, or if you're going to do a horse, whatever, then that's all you really need it for, and it works in that case. So
a newsletter would be brilliant if you are a bit of a field leader, a sort of someone who's got some expertise, an expert in, say, because like industries always used to have their trade papers, their trade journals, didn't they? So you had your dentistry, even your cardboard box manufacturers, or windows, plastic window people. There was always like a trade journal, an industry magazine. So if you was an expert in something like that, the chances are you'd probably still be able to get people who are willing to pay €5, £5, $5 each month to get something that quite a bit about. I mean, like I say, you will sell more if you are an authority. But again, we've talked about many times that you can build up your credibility, your celebrity, authority sort of reputation by using social media. I mean, Irish Houses, Cheap Irish Houses woman, I can't remember her name. Let me just see if I can quickly find it. She's on Instagram, and it's Molly somebody, I think, but she basically uses Instagram, and that's it. Yeah, so she'll that is her feeder, as well as a TV program. So obviously she's the TV, and she's been in a few papers, but she's now at the bottom of this one. I'm seeing a video for YouTube. So basically, you can knock up videos like we're doing now, or using your mobile phone, add them to YouTube, and they are free. So again, that's a traffic source. Everything can be free, really, to generate people who's going to come into your newsletter funnel.
Yeah, I think Instagram's an amazing platform. I've sort of spoke about this before on a couple of occasions, but I think Instagram, it really is almost trying to be the sort of the all-in-one really now. I know it's Facebook owned anyway, but there's so much you can do, with that platform now, And in terms of cameras playing up tonight, and in terms
I
of
noticed your camera's having a bit of a paddy. Is it all right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Might have to go off. Anyway, yeah, Instagram. Oh, I think I have gone. Anyway, you can still hear me, all right?
Oh, I can hear you fine. Yeah, they can look at my lovely face.
Instagram is it's almost trying to be the sort of be all and end all. I think the all in one of every platform out there.
Which is probably why Facebook's changed to Meta for the metaverse, where it's called.
Yeah, that's all coming soon, isn't it? Something it's crazy because I think that it's so simple, and it kind of its simplicity wins because there's no, you can't share links every post and stuff like that. It makes it better and it tailors it towards what you actually want to do. So in terms of this, let's say you wanted to set up a little membership area, you can put one link in your bio, and that would be your link. Do you know what I mean? If you were particularly, if you had an intro, like you say, this woman that's talking about houses, or go back to an example, say like we talked about, a minute ago. Say you're a sports trader or something like that, and you think you found a bit of an edge, and you wanted to share a few, of your particular trades or tips for the day. You could just talk about that content all the time. You could just post a video every day or something. Maybe just share a few screenshots of some of your trades and that. And your link at the top, a link in your bio would just be, for VIP content, click here. And that would be it. That would literally be it. And then that would be the link to either, your sales page, stroke, sign up page, stroke, membership area, whatever, for your $5.99 a month. And you could just that could be your sole focus. I mean, and I know a lot of these that do really well. And I know a lot of these on ClickBank that are massive. Like you say, they do they're not $5.99, like they're like $37 a month or, $47 a month. And, especially if you have quite a good success rate with terms of what and I would go back to like tipping and, trading and whatnot, then you won't, the top ones will be paying nearer sort of $40, $50 a month. And,
well, you'll be pleased to know that one of our forthcoming newsletters will be about using Instagram as affiliate. I call them Insta affiliates.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the same sort of premise as opposed to having a newsletter, but they just use Instagram all the time, and their one link in their bio is to an affiliate commission, which is a ClickBank product, and it's exactly to do with that product. So, the example is that there was lots of photographs. There's a profile being followed by loads of people to do with houses made from shipping containers, and they basically then link to a product which is selling shipping container plans. And it's completely free. And like I say, the whole business, the whole model, everything is wrapped in Instagram. I know we're slightly off a different sort of a tangent here, but again, that is going to be in one of our newsletters. And I think actually talking about what you're saying there, I think we should do a newsletter laying out the whole idea of doing an Instagram membership.
I will do, yeah, definitely.
That sounds like a brilliant newsletter.
It is, and it's so
definitely worth £5, I think.
The whole thing is free. Literally, you can do the whole thing. You can build the whole thing for nothing. But yeah, in terms of Instagram, you talking about that. I remember seeing a load in the sort of survival life niche. Like the sort of survival. What's it called? Those sort of bug out or whatever. Like those sort of
bug out
stuff and that preppers and all that. Yeah, exactly. Because there's a load of courses on that, and like you say, they just fill their content with that kind of material, and it's a really passionate niche.
Well, that could be a perfect newsletter. I mean, £5 a month, £10 a month. You've got Ray Mears and
absolutely perfect. Yeah.
Bear Grylls and all that kind of stuff, that'd be fantastic as a newsletter. Yeah. So, excellent.
Okay, so are we kind of wrapping up now? That was.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, basically, it's a powerful thing to do. It's something you can do from home, and it's like I say, it's something you can do. You could probably get a newsletter for the month or for the week done in a day while you're in your office, or you do it in the evening, or do it a weekend. And then you can sell it to multiple people.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's perfect. I think it's a perfect side business for someone who's got a. You can make it a full business, but it's also a perfect side business for somebody who's got a job who just wants some extra money. Because once it's set up, it's so simple.
And if it's a niche that you're passionate about, and if it's a hobby or an interest that you really love talking about anyway, to you, it's just gonna be second nature anyway. And it
Absolutely,
you're going to get paid a little bit for it. Okay. All right. Well, we'll wrap up there. So plenty of sort of, if you've got any questions about any of that stuff, then get in touch. But there will be more content on that 100% coming soon over the next few weeks and months, definitely. So look out for that. But no, thanks very much for listening. I've been John Banks. You can find me over at all the usual places. And I've been with...
I'm Andy Lehman. You'll find me over at freedomskillsacademy.com. Go and have a look. Check out, our VIP sort of club area. You get a free copy of the Freedom Skills book as well, and the Life Bible and stuff like that. So, perfect. See you next week in the next episode, which is number 46, I think. Thanks and goodbye.
Thanks very much.